We can all humbly bow down, raise our Kundalinis, and take a bandhan. We can place both of our hands on the Mother Earth and recite Shri Ganesha Atharva Shirsha. Om Namaste Ganapataye Tvameva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi Tvameva Kevalam Kartasi Tvameva Kevalam Dartasi Tvameva Kevalam Hartasi Tvameva Sarvam Kalvidam Brahmasi Tvam Sakshat Anmasi Nityam Idam Vakshmi Satyam Vakshmi Avatvam Mam Avavaktaram Avashodaram Avadataram Avadataram Avanuchanam Avashishyam Avapashyatat Avapurastat Avodaratat Avadakshinatat Avachodvatat Avadharatat Sarvatomam Pahi Pahi Samantat Tvam Vangmayastvam Chinmayaha Tvam Anandamayastvam Brahmamayaha Tvam Sachitananda Dvitiyosi Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi Sarvam Jagadidam Tvato Jayate Sarvam Jagadidam Tvatastishthati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvayi Layam Shati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvayi Pratyeti Tvam Bhumirapo Nalo Nilo Nabaha Tvam Chatvari Vakpadani Tvam Gunatraya Itaha Tvam Dehatraya Titaha Tvam Kalatraya Titaha Tvam Muladhara Stitosi Nityam Tvam Shakti Trayatmakaha Tvam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam Tvam Brahma Tvam Vishnu Tvam Rudras Indrastvam Agnistam Vayustvam Suryastvam Chandramastam Brahma Uvahaswaram Vanadim Purvamucharya Varnadim Taranantaram Anuswaraha Parataraha Ardendulasitam Tarenaritham Etattavamanuswarupam Gakara Purvarupam Akaro Madhyamarupam Anuswara Shandyarupam Bindurutararupam Nada Sandhanam Samhita Sandhi Shesha Ganesha Vidya Ganikarishi Nitrit Gayatri Chandaha Ganapatiye Devata Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha Ekadantaya Vimahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat Ekadantam Chaturhastam Pashamankushadharinam Radam Chavaratam Haste Bhibranam Shakatvajam Raktam Lambodaram Shurvakarnakam Raktavasasam Raktagandhanuliptangam Raktapushpahe Supujitam Bhaktanukambinam Devam Jagatkaranam Achyutam Avirbudam Cha Srishtiyadav Prakritehe Purushatparam Evam Dhyayanti Yo Nityam Sa Yogi Yoginam Varaha Namo Vratapate Namo Ganapate Namaha Pramatapate Namaste Astu Lambodharaya Ekadantaya Vignanashini Shivasutaya Shri Varadamurtaye Namaha Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. We can sit in silent meditation for a while with both of our hands back on our lap. We will now slowly open our eyes and listen to Mother's talk.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. I'm happy you all are enjoying this music and this dancing. And about these artists, I have to say that after coming to Sahaja Yoga at a very young age, they achieved such mastery. Because when the Kundalini rises, as I told you, she enriches your centers. The center about which I was going to talk to you today is the center of creativity, which looks after your power of action, physical and mental. This power of action moves on the right side of the spinal cord and coming to the optic chiasma, it crosses over, passes to the left side and creates an institution called ego. The institution of ego is a myth. What we do is to get something dead, like some trees dead, so make some platform or some furniture. We take some stones and make a hall, and we think we have done a great job. Actually, what we have done is to reconstruct the dead. But while doing it, we get the feeling that we have done it something. That is how our ego develops. This channel on the right hand side caters to your future. So those people who plan too much, think too much, exhaust the energy of this center, because this center has the first responsibility to convert the fat cells in the stomach for the use of the brain, which is overused, to make them into grey cells. So when you start thinking too much, it has to work more for this very important function. When it starts working for one function, the other functions are neglected. And the other functions are, it has to cater, to nourish, or to give energy to your liver, to your pancreas, to your spleen, to your kidneys, and part of your intestine. So, once you start neglecting these organs, first your liver suffers. Means the function of liver gets limited. The function of the liver basically is to absorb the heat of the body, which is the poison, and allow it to permeate into the bloodstream. But the energy is so limited that it cannot function properly. So this center starts neglecting liver, and liver then cannot get rid of all the heat of the body. So the heat starts flowing upward. When it starts flowing upward, then there's a center, what we call as the right heart, which gets affected. People develop a disease called asthma with it. Also they develop the disease, what we call as a massive heart attack on the left hand side, when the heat reaches there. They also can develop a paralysis of the right side when it reaches the brain. The vulnerability is there. And then it is triggered somehow by the left side action maybe. Such people are futuristic. They go on planning for the future. The future doesn't exist. Only the present is the truth. But they go on planning about future, waste their energies, and ultimately find that all their plans fail. One must know the divine plan. If you know the divine plan, then you don't have to plan, because you know the divine is already planning for you everything. When you understand after realization that everything is done by Parama Chaitanya, by this all-pervading power, by this Ruh, then you do not think that you are doing something. Moreover, as I told you, when the Kundalini rises through the Agya Chakra, both these institutions of ego and superego are sucked in, so there is no ego. So you become egoless. So your karmas or your duties or your so-called work you have done become akarmas. Then you don't talk like this, that I have done this, I have done that. They say, oh, it's rising, it's happening, it's working out. To start speaking in the third person. Even sometimes children you will find, they talk like that. This little boy won't go because it is obstinate. They'll talk about themselves. If you notice, if they are realized schools, they talk like that, in the third person. So you become a third person. And nourishment to this energy, to this center comes through your realization. As the Kundalini is connected to the mains, as a result, you get into balance. You are in thoughtless awareness. Somebody has asked me about the thinking yesterday. So the thought arises from the past or from the future. As we have a capacity to react because of the construction of our body as a prism. It's a little scientific thing, but if you listen to some of my lectures, you will understand what I mean. Now what happens when you see something, you react. Anything you see, you react. You see this carpet, you will react. You will see this mic, you will react. You will think something about it. So a thought comes either from the future or from the past, and there's a wave of thought coming and going, again thought coming and going. It comes and disappears. In between these thoughts, there's a little space, which is the present. But if I say you pay attention to yourself, to your present, you cannot. Unless and until you are a realized soul. So when the Kundalini rises, these thoughts become, they lean out, means they become thin. When they become thin, the space in between increases, and that's how you become thoughtlessly aware. So the thinking is minimized. Then the liver doesn't have to do all the time the job of converting your fat cells into grey cells. It comes into balance. Then the second one is the pancreas. That is neglected too. In a person who is futuristic, who thinks too much, plans too much, that also becomes neglected. Now, function of the pancreas is to absorb the sugar into bloodstream in a proper way. But because it is neglected, it has a very limited energy, it cannot function, so you get diabetes. Because of too much thinking, you get diabetes. As I told you yesterday that in India, if you have to give tea to someone, be careful if he's from a village. Because in the village, you have to put so much sugar that the spoon should stand at right angles, otherwise it's no tea for them. And they never get diabetes, never get diabetes. Diabetes is the headache of the people who sit on chairs, write, think, worry, and are time bound. All such people get diabetes. They are futuristic, egoistical, arrogant, hot-tempered. And such people get also heart attacks, which are of a massive nature. The left heart is connected in a way. When there's too much of exertion on the physical side, also one can get heart attack. The another type of heart attack one gets is a angina. That's due to some other reason. That's due to the lethargic heart. So now we have another problem which is very serious, is that of the spleen. Spleen is the speedometer. It's the one that gives us rhythm. If we are rhythmic in life, spleen keeps all right. But we are very hectic. And the function of the spleen is to create red blood corpuscles whenever there is an emergency. So the way we are always under a shock. Early in the morning you get up, what do you see? You read the newspaper, horrid news. I mean, newspapers have to give horrid news. They never give good news, you know. They say we don't want to say if some plane has landed safely, but but if there's a disaster, so many have died, killed in action, murders, horrible things, naturally you get a shock because you are a human being. And in a subconscious you feel, in the unconscious area you get the jerk. There's a shock. Then you start the day in a hectic way. You are time bound, you have to rush, you can't take your breakfast, you just take something, grab. Rush to the car or maybe on anything, and then you find a jam. In modern days, everything keeps you on attention. Then you reach the office, the boss is getting angry with you because you are late. As it is, I don't know how much work we really produce. Only the mess we have created in this world, I think, much more in the modern times than much work. We cannot have people like Mozart nowadays. We can't have anyone like Michelangelo. We cannot have any artists who can create beautiful things. We do not have beautiful buildings now, horrible plastics. We cannot have beautiful artistic clothes. Everything is becoming plastic, and for which we are working so very hard to create plastic mountains. All this leads to tensions. So we become tense. And the tensions go on increasing as this ego increases, covers all your head. And you go into tension. But the worst thing that happens to you, that this spleen, which is the one responsible for keeping the rhythm of your life, goes hectic and becomes crazy. It doesn't understand what sort of a personality you are. Sometimes you rush to that, sometimes you rush to that. There's no rhythm in your life. So it gets upset and it starts producing red blood corpuscles unrhythmically. It doesn't know. So the vulnerability is there. And as soon as there's any triggering from the left side, you develop a horrible disease called blood cancer. And the only treatment you can have in the medical science is that you will be certified that you will die after 8 days or after 1 month. That's the only possibility. But with Kundalini awakening, your own power nourishes this center and supplies energy, soothes down your hectic speedometer, which is the spleen, and the disease gets cured. There are many we know of who got their blood cancer cured, and even after 6-7 years they are living and kicking all right. All this is available to you within yourself. This is all being promised. Many great people have written about it. It's not that I'm saying something new. Only the new thing we are seeing here is that you can get mass realization. Then is the kidney. Kidney also gets affected firstly by the heat of the liver and secondly by the strenuous type of life you lead, futuristic, neglected, and then you get blood pressures. Blood pressures you get till you get failure of your kidneys, or you might get a paralysis. Anything is possible. So we have blood pressure, high blood pressure. All this is only because of one center when it is out of gear. But if all the 7 centers are out of gear, what should happen to us? And I think the modern life is such that it could be, all centers could be in danger. So it is eminent, is important that we should get our Kundalini awakened and we should enjoy the best health. Health, of course, you enjoy very well, no doubt. But apart from health, you enjoy many other things. First of all, you enjoy yourself. Today, there's no time to discuss all the centers. But still, I would say that I would like to give you all the benefits of Sahaja Yoga, which are possible. That you start enjoying others. You become righteous, as I told you, and you start enjoying your virtues. You are no more a critic of things. If you have to criticize, you criticize yourself, laugh at yourself, and you don't laugh at others. You start correcting yourself. If you have the art of Kundalini awakening, because yoga means, of course, a union with the divine, also means yukti, meaning the deftness. Deftness to raise the Kundalini of yours and of others. If you know the decoding of these centers on your fingertips, 5, 6 and 7 on the left side and 5, 6 and 7 on the right side. If you just know the decoding, immediately you can do the diagnosis. What is wrong basically with you, and you can correct it. So physically, mentally, emotionally, you can correct yourself. And spiritually you ascend. You ascend to a state of a saint, a sage. And the time has come for us to become sages. For that you don't have to leave your homes, houses, run away from your families, nothing. That's an escape. You don't have to suffer. you have to enter into the kingdom of God to enjoy that beauty and bounty of Islam. Now, this balance is important within us. There's one more disease, a very common one in the West is the cancer of the breast in the case of women, which comes from the center of heart. So the center, there are three hearts according to surgeon. One is the central heart, one is left and one right. Now the central heart is placed in the spinal cord below the sternum bone. Sternum bone is the one that creates the antibodies till the age of 12 years. And then they get distributed all over. And these antibodies then fight all the emergencies and overcome all the troubles for us. But then they can become also very weak. So the remote control is in the sternum bone. Now this center is the center of a mother, of the primordial mother we can say, of the mother who is the mother of this universe and mother of this world, who looks after the security of children, security of the people. When a woman is challenged in her motherhood, supposing she's a wife of someone and husband is giving her insecurities, by any means, supposing he's a wayward person or he's always threatening her or dominating her or challenging her, her security gets disturbed and then this trouble starts. Maybe her children, maybe anyone can give this insecurity to a woman, and that's how she develops this blood cancer, this cancer of the breast. That also can be corrected if the Kundalini could be made to pass through this center and nourish it. The center that is the most important is the seventh center. The seventh center is the center which is placed around the limbic area in the head. It has got 1,000 petals. And when enlightened, it looks like beautiful flames, very white flames, just like petals of all the 7 colors. That's why it said in the Bible, I'll appear before you like flames. These are the flames you see. This is the most important thing because around the limbic area are placed all the seats, governing seats of all the centers. So, if this center is fully opened out, they all get drenched by the grace of the divine power, and a person really enjoys Sahaja Yoga in the best possible way. He's a happy person, he's a joyous person, he emits joy, he emits peace, he's compassionate, he's tireless, he looks after people, and such a person can achieve great heights of purity within himself. The another center which is bestowed by Christ, as I told you yesterday, is the Agya Chakra, which is also very important because Christ has said, "Thou shalt not have adulterous eyes." That's what he has said it. You should find out among Christian nations how many have got such pure eyes. Pure eyes means those who do not react, just witness, watch. There is no greed, there is no lust in those eyes. Such eyes are so powerful that even a glance of such an eye can give salvation. And this is what it is. We have to achieve the pure eyes. And such pure eyes are the only one which give you the joy of seeing. Of course, you'll have the books, you can read them and find out about all the centers and know about it. But what we have to see is that the problems of the world are because of us. We are the problems, and we manifest the problems outside, which reflect back upon us, like the waves come back and dash against the shore and again are reflected back. We have to ourselves get into the state of sages. Then nobody has to tell you, do this or do that. You become your own master, you become your own guru, and you look after yourself. I have to apologize for one thing, that Sahaja Yoga started in Australia with a little jerk. They were Australians who started it, but they were not up to the mark, I must say. They were not. Created lots of problems for us, lots of problems. And we didn't know what to do with them. It has happened nowhere in the world as it has happened here. I don't know why it took a lot of time for it to properly establish itself. Thank God now we have people who are sensible. And I hope you will make it convenient after getting your realization to establish yourself properly. Establish yourself and reach that state of nirvikalpa, doubtless awareness. If you have any problem, you should write to me directly. You don't have to bear anything. Christ has already taken the cross upon himself, so we don't have to do anything. If there's any problem that you find is not all right, you should write to me instead of getting disappointed or getting frustrated. It's best is to write to me. I know it's far away. Australia is very far away. But this is the land which is a land of purity. This is the land in the universe, is the first center that you see there. And Ulru that you have, Ru means, as I told you, is the Chaitanya. Is the symbol of that purity. So you stand for the innocence of the world. You are such a great nation here that stands for the innocence. And you could be very gullible. So you have to be careful and understand your own identity as innocent people. And I am sure it will work out very well for all of you. And this country, which has many problems, will be solved by your own purity. And the whole world can be helped with your own purity and beautiful lives. May God bless you. Yesterday we had too many questions. Too many. And I told you that by asking questions, I can answer all of them, I think so. But I cannot guarantee that if I answer you, that means I can give you awakening. It's not guaranteed that way. So if you want to have your realization, and if there is any problem that stands between that realization and yourself, then it is better you should ask me some question. It's much better to save time.
Is rising the Kundalini.
Not at all. Kundalini is your mother. She is your individual mother. And she looks after you. She knows everything about you. She's taped everything that you have been doing, you have been desiring. She knows everything about it. And she's anxiously waiting to give you your second birth. As your mother took up upon herself all the labor pains, she takes all the troubles upon herself. We have had so many people. I have never seen anyone getting into trouble. This myth has been created by people who are money oriented, I think, who wanted to frighten you so that you don't go to reality and pay them well.
Could you define Kundalini?
Huh?
Could you define Kundalini?
Yesterday I did. You came today only, madam? Oh, I see. Kundalini is a power, as I told you, is a residual power, is the fourth power within us, which resides in the triangular bone in 3.5 coil. And it rises through 6 centers, subtle centers. This is the power of your pure desire. All other desires are impure because they are never satiable in general. The only desire that is pure is to be one with the divine. आप सिख है ना? हाँ, उसमें सुरती कहते हैं. सुरती का हुआ. सिरती चढ़े कमान. जिसे सुरती कहते हैं, हाँ, वही कुंडलिनी. Nanak Sahib is described as Surti. Kabira especially has described it as Surti. But imagine human beings how they are. Kabira was born in Bihar. Most of his work was in Bihar. Later on he went to Punjab. And in Bihar, they call tobacco as Surti. Yes, in Bihar they do. It's very surprising to call tobacco as Surti. So many things of Granth Sahib can only be understood when you get your self-realization, otherwise you cannot. He said it, kahe re ban khoj na jaye, sada nivasi sada ale pato he sang samay. Kahe nanak bina apa chine mite na brahma ki kai. What is this apa? Is yourself. He is the one who has done the tremendous work on this. Tremendous work on Kundalini. All of them. Namdeva. Even to think of them is great.
When you want to raise the Kundalini, right? Like we're living in a modern world, right? So like, you know, you can't, even if you do want to have success in a career which you're interested in, how is it that you can, like, you know, control your ego and all of that as well as attain that sort of
Yeah. This is the first temptation you have.
Yeah, I know, but it's
I agreed with you that it starts giving you ego if you are not fully developed in Sahaja Yoga. This is the first temptation, I know that. People become very creative. It has happened to many Sahaja Yogis I have seen. They became very creative, they started producing a lot of potteries and things and started producing beautiful paintings. There was one Australian lady, she produced very beautiful paintings and she got world fame and all that. And ego blasted her completely. And she came to see me in Perth. I found such heat coming out of her like a cancer patient, absolutely like a cancer patient. And then if you tell her you have got ego, they don't like it because they are so egoistic.
then how are you supposed to live?
That's why you have
We can sit in silent meditation for a while. We can slowly open our eyes, humbly bow down, raise our kundalinis and take abundance.